Okay, as you can see by me showing you this video picture on my cell phone, it's August 25th, 2013, and my name is Leslie Williams, and I am in San Diego, California. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to, just 1 second please. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start the stopwatch so I can keep an eye on how long this video is. Because this video camera shuts itself off once it reaches the 29-minute video, once it reaches a 29-minute video length. And I don't know, I don't know why the video camera was set up to do that. But anyways, okay, just hold on please 1 more second. Good afternoon, my name is Leslie Williams and I'm in San Diego, California, and I'm a little video shy. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and just begin the purpose of this video. And the statements that I'm making right now in this video are also being tape recorded on a digital running recording tape recorder. And I'm doing that in order to be able to keep some type of log concerning my statements, because some of my videos are made to some of my videos and some of my audio files are made to make predictions concerning what could and might happen towards me, concerning me, about me, or against me as a result of me being what is known as an organized stalking, gang stalking target. Excuse me, please. Now, I don't make very good videos. I'm just an average person, and I'm not involved in any illegal or criminal activity whatsoever. I'm not a threat to myself or others, and I am not mentally ill. But these are the kinds of labels that the organized crime that is in the system, that is syndicated and connected to these criminal expeditions, these are the kinds of labels that they try to literally put on targets in order to, because organized stalking and gang stalking is directly connected to numerous different types of criminal aspirations that they pick a target for. And one target can be picked for multiple aspirations. Excuse me for 1 second, I gotta blow my nose. Now I'm a little video shy, so just bear with me. Oh, and I've made this statement before in previous video files, not that many, but just in a few. And I just feel compelled to do it because, well, women do care about how they look. At least healthy women do. And I mean, in general, okay, and I've looked at some of my videos and I realized that my face right here is looks a little saggy, and that's because I don't have any upper teeth. Before I came back to San Diego for the first time since I was out here in 2006, between 1 and 38 days, on August 8th, 2011, up to this date, August 25th, 2013, my dentures were stolen literally from my property in Michigan about 3 weeks before I left, by the organized stalking and gang stalking that was occurring towards me in Michigan. Now, organized stalking and gang stalking is occurring in every state in the United States. Just 2 days ago, I was looking at a petition from the internet at the law library in downtown San Diego on Front Street concerning another targeted individual. And the petition was not only describing what was happening to that specific individual, but practically every single person, and I viewed at least 30 to 40 signatures concerning other targeted individuals signing that individual's petition. And I looked at the states, excuse me, I looked at the states that these other targeted individuals that had signed the petition were in reference to what state they said that they were living in. Sorry, I just had a Pop-Tart. And it's literally happening in Arizona, Michigan, California, Texas, New York, Florida, North Carolina, Colorado. Organized stalking and gang stalking is literally occurring in every state in the United States. Now, if you went to Google and typed in live leak space Greg Szymanski space Julian McKinney radio interview, you will see a radio interview of Greg Szymanski interviewing Julian McKinney. Julian McKinney flat out states that organized stalking and gang stalking literally operates on the same methods and tactics practically towards every single target. Now, I have blogs in my backpack right now that illustrate what I was putting up with in Michigan concerning me being harassed along all my routes. I mentioned grocery stores, libraries, businesses, university campuses, and apartment. Okay? Now that I've come back here to San Diego for the first time since 2006, when I was out here in 2006, I did not know what was happening to me was gang stalking. I did not have a name yet for it. The open harassment, okay, and the escalated methods that they were covertly managing towards me, for me to experience. My bird's here. Hi, baby. Oh, he got a piece of bread. Anyway, I feed him bread every morning. That was happening towards me, that was already happening before the open harassment started. The open harassment started towards me in 2001 in Michigan. But it had already at least been going on, at least since 1980. Now, I have read other targeted individuals' blogs, petitions, and looked at their YouTube videos, and some targets are online, including a California target, whose blog I just read about a week and a half ago, him stating that he's been a target of this crime for 30 full years. That's right. I had lunch with an individual by the name of Kenneth Rhodes in Michigan in October 2010. He was an individual that played a huge role in financing the huge billboard that you will see on certain gang stalking videos that are basically exposing what gang stalking is. That billboard saying, "Big Brother's watching you." I think it might mention electronic harassment. I had lunch with him. He picked me up literally from U of M, where I was being gang stalked on a feverish scale. The point I'm trying to make is that I was literally gang stalked from Michigan to San Diego in 2006. That's right. I was led to believe, as a result of me experiencing the same methods in San Diego in 2006 that I experienced in Michigan, okay, led me to believe that individuals from Michigan had stalked me from Michigan to California. At that point in time in that calendar year, I thought it was friends of the people that I used to know that had covertly infiltrated my life through extremely respectable environments. That's right, and they had extremely respectable employment descriptions. That's right. I'm talking about extremely upper middle class. Okay? So, I had no reason to suspect that these individuals were engaged in any criminal or illegal activity, or that they might be possibly off in some way. But when I did start suspecting that something was off, I immediately cut ties with them. And that's when the open gang stalking started towards me. I'm in San Diego, California. My name is Leslie Williams, and today's date is August 25th, 2013. And the reason why I'm bringing up 2006 is because it's relevant. When I was out here between 1 and 38 days in 2006, I was subjected to the same exact methods that I was subjected to in Michigan by individuals that I did not know here in San Diego. And since I didn't know what was happening to me was called gang stalking, and is called gang stalking, which is also called organized stalking, I just thought that individuals from Michigan had stalked me to California, because what I was putting up with in San Diego in 2006 was the same exact methods and tactics I was putting up with in Michigan. And since I didn't have a name for the crime that was happening to me, I had no way to investigate the methods, tactics of these expeditions, which led me to believe I was stalked from Michigan to California. Even though I was, but I was not stalked by the same perpetrators from Michigan. Organized stalking and gang stalking is nothing but a nationwide syndicate that operates on the same methods and templates of behaviors towards every target. They might deviate just a little bit, okay? But practically every single target is saying the same exact thing is happening to them. Methods, tactics, in reference to their apartment being broken into, furniture moved around, items stolen and then replaced, their food being poisoned and drugged, their apartments broken into and calling cards are left. Now, so when I came out here in 2006, and as I noticed, I was literally even gang stalked on the Greyhound bus from Michigan to San Diego in 2006. So I knew that I knew I was experiencing harassment, and I knew the harassment was the same, so I knew I was being stalked in order to make me feel harassed, okay, because the harassment was the same. But I still didn't have a name for it. So when I was out here in 2006, what I did was I chose to go to some libraries, and it was Point Loma Library, and I went to the downtown San Diego Public Library once, okay. Now, As I was in the Point Loma Library in San Diego, California in 2006, I was experiencing organized stalking, crafted harassment for me to witness concerning me by their library security, by their library staff, especially a woman by the name of Mimi, okay, and by other library staff, and by individuals coming in to use the computer, and how they were sitting around me engaging in organized harassment for me to experience through seeing and through hearing, in reference to the physical gestures they were engaging in, seeing them do it, and the verbal statements that was made around me concerning me. That's right, they're called sensitization methods of organized stalking, gang stalking expeditions. So I made some emails to a prosecutor in Wayne, Michigan from the Point Loma Library and to Amnesty International. Okay? Now the things that I described in these separate email files are methods of gang stalking. That's right. And then the San Diego police pulled what is known as a street theater, which is nothing but a staged event, staged incidences, where they frame the situation and then stage it in order to frame the result of the event. Okay? And basically what they did, they literally came to one of my hiking areas, and it was designed to make me believe that the stalking had ended and that I could not camp anywhere in San Diego anymore, and if I did get caught camping or hiking out, that I'd be arrested and facing huge fines while I had a migraine. That's right. That's right. And they also, part of the street theater was also designed to also make me believe that the stalking situation had ended. Now here's a point I'm going to make before I describe how they did that, in part. The San Diego police and me never had any direct or physical interaction between me and them at all in 2006, except for the incident when they came out to my hiking area. That's right. I had never talked to a San Diego police officer I talked to one San Diego police officer in 2006 downtown briefly, and that was just about how much money they make as a result of me walking to a bus stop and I seen one, and I just stopped off and asked them how much money do they make a year, and that was it. Never told them I was stalked, I didn't know it was gang stalking back then, so I couldn't say I was being gang stalked. I didn't tell them I was being stalked or harassed by anybody. And I did go down into the Hall of Justice to go to one of the specific floors they have on there to try and file a complaint about being stalked, okay? And I ended up getting some papers and some information, and then I left, okay? And I was gaslighted in the Hall of Justice in 2006, and gaslighting is a term that describes organized stalking harassment. That's right. So, basically, the San Diego police had no way to know that I was being stalked because I never mentioned to anybody that I was being stalked, except for one of the individuals on one of the floors inside of the Hall of Justice, but there was no San Diego police around me as I was making that inquiry about what forms I had to fill out to make a complaint that I was being stalked. That's right. I never called the police. I never had any physical interactions with the San Diego police whatsoever, or any other law enforcement agency in 2006 in reference to any physical interaction with them for any reason, or any physical interaction with them or by phone in reference to me approaching them or talking to any of them or any law enforcement branch in reference to me being stalked. When they came out to my hiking area on the very last day that I was here, because they literally drove me to a parking lot where the San Diego Homeless Rescue Mission then took me to the Greyhound bus terminal, where I bought a ticket and left. Now, when they came to my hiking area in 2006, one of the very first things that they did that was designed for me to hear, because their whole goal was to motivate me to go back to Michigan, because I was sending emails to Amnesty International and to a prosecutor in Wayne, Michigan about what happened to me in Michigan in part, and about what was currently happening to me in San Diego. That's right, and the San Diego police were mentioned in one of them because they were driving by me in some of my along some of my routes and acting like they were literally giving me the impression that I was being watched by them. That's right, because the way they were circling around me practically every day once I started sending the emails. That's right. Now, when they came to my hiking area in 2006, one of the very first things that they did when this woman, it was a woman officer, I remember she had blonde hair and she had kind of a big butt. I remember that much about her because she walked, I don't mean to, say the wrong thing, but she walked up the hill and I was behind her, and as a result of her walking up and her being in front of me, I remember she had a big butt. Anyway, sorry. So anyways, as she approached my hiking area and began to talk to me, she goes, "What are you doing here?" Okay, and I said, "Well, I'm camping." And I said, well, there's no camping allowed here, and we got an anonymous call from a neighbor. Well, no, she said a neighbor called. It was either a neighbor called or an anonymous person called about you being here. I said, really? And then she goes, hold on a second. And then she turned up her radio on her waist, and an individual on the radio broadcasted to her for me to hear, it's okay now, there's nothing to worry about, the stalkers are gone. This is literally, I can look you straight in the eye and tell you that that is exactly what I experienced to a T as a result of that individual, that police officer being in my physical presence. Now remember, I never told anybody that I was being stalked in San Diego, except for that one person, I forgot what floor it was, inside of the Hall of Justice. I think it was the 13th floor or the 12th floor or something like that, when I went down there to get some forms to file a complaint that I was being stalked. Now, you just heard some individuals in the background. What I experienced at this hiking area is the same exact thing that I experienced at a second hiking area before I came to this one, which was actually the first hiking area, okay? Where they're having individuals get up on the sidewalk and literally say gang stalking as they ride their bikes by or jog by. That's done to remind me that I'm a victim of this crime by constantly repeating gang stalking everywhere I go. Everywhere I go. And I have over 700 separate audio files to prove it. It's their covert and overt way to let me know I'm a victim of this crime, to remind me that I am, to keep me mentally preoccupied concerning it, and to make me feel a victim of it. That's right, because they got to know who I am and where I'm at to do it. So anyways, as a result of her saying this, which led me to believe that, because that morning I was not being harassed at the new hiking area I went to. Now, I gotta start condensing details because this video is already 16 minutes into its video time. Then she started flat out, basically directly telling me, implying to me that once I leave that hiking area, if I choose to go to any other place to hike out at, and that if I'm caught, I will either be arrested and or face huge fines. And then she said if you're released and then caught again, the same thing will happen to you again. While I have a migraine, while I'm made to believe that the stalking has ended. That's right. It was their overt and covert way to infer a message to me that the stalking had ended and that it would be okay for me to go back to Michigan through the intimidation of threats and jail. That's right. And I was already worn down by this time because I was not getting no help. I was still traumatized from what happened to me in Michigan. I had no name for the crime that was happening to me. I was made to feel threatened and hypervigilant as a result of the stalking that did occur towards me every place I went in 2006. This included the Point Loma Library like you would not believe. And Point Loma Library is directly mentioned in those 2006 emails. That's right. Along with how I was gang stalked at the McDonald's off of Rosecrans and Nimitz Boulevard, and every other business I went to. So I went back to Michigan where I was gang stalked, sexually exploited, sexually harassed, gang stalked along every single one of my routes, harassed every single day, everywhere I went for the whole time duration of each place that I went to, from the time I went back to Michigan in 2006 up to the literal date that I came back here to San Diego on August 8, 2011. That's right. Physically assaulted, money stolen from me like you would not believe, my insurances have been exploited, all of my property that I bought and owned since the time I left my ex-husband from 1986 up until 2004 was literally stolen from me by the organized stalking, gang stalking that occurred towards me in Michigan. I'm talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars I have been literally ripped off of. Every single paycheck that I have gotten from Social Security Disability since 2001 has been dedicated to surviving this crime, exposing this crime, and living in the effects of it. That's right. That's right. Now, targeted individuals are made homeless by the manager of these expeditions, who does have a power position in the community. And I'm talking about housing inspectors, housing inspectors that have the ability to, and police officers who have the ability to covertly approach landlords and property owners and intimidate them, bribe them, collude with them, to cause the homelessness of a target, and if that don't work, mail theft and mail delayment is another mechanism that is used to have to create the homelessness of a target. And also how they will either rent apartments above, below, or next to a target. It's called renting apartments that are adjacent to a target, or soliciting current tenants that are above, below, or next to a target. So that, see, because their whole goal is to harass you everywhere, at your home, at your whether it be a physical house or an apartment building, at a motel room, all the businesses you go to, university campuses you go to, including college campuses. And my college campus is mentioned concerning me being harassed on my college campus in those 2006 emails that I sent from the Point Loma Library. Now you can go to Google and type in either organized stalking or gang stalking in universities or colleges. Look at how many Google generated responses you get, and then look at the target's blogs and YouTube videos concerning what's happening to them. Now, there's a manifesto that's online right now that you can go to by typing in a gang stalking tech. Everything you need to know. It's a manifesto of a manager of gang stalking. That individual flat out talks about syndicated schools. He talks about how all the communications of a target are monitored. The fact that entire police departments have been taken over. The fact that the fire department can be used and the police department can be used for harassment. That's right. And anything else like falsified arrest, illegally petition a target into county mental health, or an area neighborhood hospital in the psychiatric floor, and this is done to bilk the insurance of a target. Medicare fraud, because doctors are also extensively mentioned in this manifesto. They're called the money bags. Well, how would a doctor make money? Insurance. A targeted individual usually has no cash. Now, I have cash, but I'm just saying, oh, you wouldn't believe what happened to me in Michigan. You just would not believe what has happened to me, what happened to me in Michigan. Before I came out here in 2006, and after I returned from San Diego, once I left here in 2006. Now, as a result of what I experienced in 2006 out here in San Diego, okay, and what I experienced in Michigan, I made a choice, a cognitive choice, which means a brain choice, and a spiritual choice, to catch these individuals, just like I caught them in Michigan. They were caught extensively. I'm talking about every single place practically that played a role in the gang stalking of me in Michigan was caught before I left. I basically circled them and boxed them in and proved U of M, landlords, post office employees, the individuals that had covertly entered my life. That's right. In between 1989 and 1990. One section of the people that entered my life and stayed in my life until I threw them out of it in 2001. That's right. Anyways, so understand this and be clear. That's just the way I talk. I literally have developed my own methods and strategies of catching these individuals. I made a decision when I came back out here on August 8, 2011, one day late in reference to the scheduled arrival, which should have been August 7, 2011. I made a decision. And that decision is as follows: not to get associated to anybody at the friendship level, the acquaintance level, or the intimate level. Because I wanted to make sure that these freaks who will use any excuse, they will infiltrate your friend circles, your circle of friends. They will try to literally, if you're a woman, they'll try to put a man in your life to get sexually involved. If you're a man, they'll try and put a woman in your life to get sexually involved. They will literally try to infiltrate your family, like your siblings. Literally, and this can be Googled. So I made a decision not to get involved with not one person at the friendship level, the acquaintance level, or the intimate level, because I did not want them to be able to use relationship stalking. That's right. As a vehicle for them to expedite their methods and tactics. That's right. Lies, slander, deceit, harassment, physical assaults, staged arrest, staged petitioning into county mental health as a result of the lies, slander, gossip, and staged events. I wanted to make sure that I could catch them. Undeniable proof that I could catch them. I have not introduced myself to one person by name at all, at least that I can remember at all. I think maybe once or twice I might have slipped and said my name is Leslie to maybe an individual on a bus or whatever. But at all to anybody except for specific university campus police officers and specific San Diego police officers. So it was my intention, my goal, to not give them any room to create and expedite schemes to box me in, to screw me over, using relationships to do so. Because I learned from Michigan. You better believe I learned from Michigan by having criminals infest my life in at least 2 separate areas. Okay? The second area of the second set of people, they moved and left to Utah. That's right. Within 6 months after I discovered what was happening to me was gang stalking online on June 9, 2009 at a Bloomfield Hills public library. That's right. And then the separate set had already been left by me in between 2001 and 2002. But they kept trying to interject themselves along my routes to reintroduce themselves back into my life. And on occasion, because of the schemes that were being brought about towards me in Michigan, they were successful. But you better believe that I kept the details and the proof concerning it. That's right. You better believe it. Now, so how did they know I came back to San Diego on August 8, 2011? How did they know? It is my goal and my intention to prove that this crime is happening to me, and I have at least 700 audio files of this criminality happening around me, descriptively, intentionally, in the same exact identical way everywhere I go. And that's undisputable proof. Just the audio files alone is undisputable proof. That's not including the USB drives, the predictions I've made that have come true, the email files that I made that show criminality, the paper trails they were stupid enough to leave behind. Yes, that's directly connected to the syndicated individuals in the San Diego Police Department and San Diego Social Services workers. Now, my name is Leslie Williams. I'm in San Diego, California. I'm a good woman. I'm not involved in any illegal or criminal activity whatsoever. I'm not crazy in any way, shape, or form. And I'm not a threat to myself or others. I'm a good woman. This crime is happening to me. To me. As a result of me just existing, and as a result of them having criminal motivations for me. And understand this, please. SDSU, USD, UCSD, the North University San Diego Public Library, Serra Mesa Public Library, and Point Loma Library, and numerous businesses have engaged in organized stalking and gang stalking of me directly to my face. Some of it's been caught on audio file. A lot of it's been caught on audio file, actually. That's right. You would not believe the proof I have. It's astronomical in its size and factual in its integrity. The integrity of the proof I have is literally undisputable. There is no margin of error that would be able to give anybody, not even reasonable doubt. It's literally undisputable. So how do I get help, since this is organized crime in the system that even has the power positions to influence, collude, or intimidate, or bribe lawyers? How am I supposed to get help? And even if I did get help, would my case be sent before a syndicated judge? I'm in San Diego, California. My name is Leslie Williams, and understand this and be clear. There are a huge amount of targeted individuals online right now who have been screwed over by the courts, and the manifesto flat out states that was written by a manager of gang stalking that the best place for them to trap a target is in the courts. Judges, prosecutors, city attorney's office members, possibly even district attorney's office members. It's organized crime in the system. I'm a target of human trafficking, racketeering, sexual exploitation, and for monetary gain and insurance. So I'm predicting it all right now. I'm in San Diego, California. My name is Leslie Williams. I'm learning disabled. But make no mistake about it, I'm very creative and I'm very smart. And I will not stop until these individuals who have perpetrated this crime towards me, and until the San Diego police are openly exposed for what they have done. That's right, and prosecuted. I will never stop. If you can imagine this crime happening to you, I'm sure that you would feel the same way. Thank you for listening, and have a nice day.